Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live for this Friday. Happy weekend. This is Rochelle Ledsmith from Stamping Flair, so thanks for joining me. And I'm just going to give a few moments for you to hop on, and please share the video with friends who may like to join as well. I know some of you may be at home because it's been a pretty miserable day today. Hot, but it's just the rain has come down here in Melbourne, so it was bucketing down earlier and still quite miserable here. So I don't know, it's hot and really bad rain. What's it like over there where you are? Please say hi to me. I'm just going to make sure everything's going well, and I'm hoping the internet is good today, and just bearing in mind that the weather is the way it is, that the internet may play up sometimes, but I'm hoping we will all be good here today. So thanks so much for joining me. I just thought I'll share with you a couple of projects today using the Sweet Conversations suite from the mini catalog. All the products, or most of the products I'm using from the mini catalog, are my main products, and also the Flowing Flowers stamp set. I love this stamp set, and it was actually one of the first first stamp sets that I really purchased from the mini catalog. When I look through the catalog, as I get a new catalog, I go and mark down what really what I love first, and then I mark things down that take my fancy. And next to this Flowing Flower stamp set, I actually put love this, and it's just something that I really like. So I hope you like this stamp set too, and I just wanted to share something from that as well, and hope you get some tips as we go along. If you're joining me from my VIP group, please share this as well. I'd love for you to do that. I appreciate that. So your Sweet Conversations, or it's Sweet Talk Suite, I should say, is on page number 8. It's page 8 to page 10 in the mini catalog, and I will just turn the camera around so you can see it. So this is the entire suite. You get that bundle, and that's where I got the Sweet Conversations. You get a cute little envelope with that. I love that Gingham embossing folder as well. Some treat boxes, embellishments, the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, which we'll be using today, ribbon, the designer series paper, and here's some examples, and of course that's the stamp set, which is as to size. Anywhere where you see that shaded image like in white, we have the matching dies. Those dies, we'll cut them out. As I go along, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Type them in the chat function and I will endeavor to answer them for you. And if I miss them, I'll always go back and check the comments as well. Alright. So for our card today, I have got a Highland Heather card base, and some other bits of cardstock, but that's just for stamping, and I'm going to work out what looks best with this particular design that I'm thinking of doing. And we've got this stamp set, so the Sweet Conversations stamp set. Now this piece of designer series paper is it's got nice straps, so it's not necessarily for Valentine's Day. You can use it for other occasions, anniversaries, or it can be even I think they're really nice for children's cards, or even just February being the month of love, so it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, but you can show appreciation for your friends and family, just to tell someone you are thinking of them. And um, has this stamp set has love you and BFF, hug me. So they're just really cute sentiments. So what I'm going to do is emboss a piece of cardstock with the Gingham embossing folder. So this is basic white. I have run out of my regular basic white, so this is thick basic white cardstock I'm using, which is generally used for our card bases. So it's the thicker cardstock. So this mat was at 13.8 by 9.5. If you're joining me from Crafter Live, I do appreciate you. If you're new to my channel, whether you're watching this on YouTube or if you are watching this live on Facebook, I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed. And please give me a follow and like, and hope to see you back. So we'll adjust that and make sure that's straight. So this is the Gingham embossing folder, which is part of this Sweet Talk suite. This is wrong. I need another mat. Wrong sandwich. This is not a 3D embossing folder, so I'll just do that one. That gray plate is for when you have 3D embossing folders, so I didn't need it for this one. So can you see the detail on that embossing folder? It's really pretty. And then I've just cut this bit down to 13 point, this was 13.8, so this is 13.2 width, and this is about 4 centimeters, so you can have that as high as you like. And we'll glue that together. It would look nice with the stripes too, that highline has the stripes. I've got some ribbon. This is from our annual catalog. It's the Highland Heather. It's a metallic ribbon, so you can pick up the red on this. I preferred the Highland Heather, but I might give the red a try. It would go because it's got those that color palette in there. And I'm just going to add my double-sided tape over there so I can attach my ribbon. Who's been checking out the classes on Crafter Live? I haven't done any yet. I'm on tomorrow at 1:30. Oh, sorry, at 11:30 is my first class, which is my first part of the spotlight technique, and I'll be on Sunday for the second half of that. Then at 3:30, but I'll definitely be putting the times on. It's at 3 or 3:30 is my second one. I am showing you 3 cards with the ladybug bundle, so you're gonna want to come and check that out. So I'll put the links up for you so you can join me for that class. Please say hi. There's the ability to chat there with me, ask questions, invite your friends. So we'll try not to stick that upside down. If you're really dedicated, you could really go in and color those or watercolor those little sections. Be very precise. But I did a wash over that embossing folder. It turned out very nice. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you now because when I do say I'll show it to you later, I forget. So that's that embossing folder which I just did a wash over. Comes up good. Okay. So this is why I had the pool party and the soy saffron, because I wasn't sure. I first picked the soy saffron, but I think this is more my color, what I would go with. If you have any suggestions, tell me. You could go with the red, you could pick that petal pink, or you could go blushing bright. So you've got quite a few choices. That's a bit of a deeper version of this pool party, but yeah, you've got a few choices there. I'm doing a Valentine's Day card. You do not have to do a Valentine's Day card. If you don't want to, you can change that sentiment and make it happy to have you in my life. You can give that to anyone. I mean, if you are happy to have them in your life. And it's nice just to make us think, you know, let people, to appreciate people and to show them that you appreciate them. Just using tuxedo black for this. So it's like the font is like just handwriting, just a very simple font. And I am thinking that might be just that little bit wide. Thought it should be right, but I could stretch it, but I'm just gonna cut it, I think. I have an idea, but we shall see how it works. So I've stamped that a bit crooked. So I am cutting it crooked, and hopefully that works. We don't know. I'm giving myself a bit extra there so I can, and then I will trim that down. That's not too bad. And then we will just trim that a bit. I'll make that really fine. And what I'm thinking, I'll cut that, die cut that with soy saffron, that banner. We'll see whether we can fit this somehow on that. Just playing with ideas here. Next I have one of these hearts. And I will die cut that from some of this the designer series paper. You can stamp it as well, but I just thought keep it simple. We have this, like, it's like a watercolor wash, and we'll just dye with this simple look. Bring a stamping cut and emboss machine into the picture. Sorry, I banged that camera. Here we go. And we'll do that, and we'll cut. I got new plates, right? So I'm just using the top plate is new. I put the other one because the top plate's the one that really matters to me because it doesn't leave your markings on the top, and it makes such a difference. It's like so nice. Nothing like it. So it gives you a shading without you having to really do anything. You can create your own watercolor brush there, but it has done that hard work for you. It's a bit like I said, marble paper, which is on in the Celebration catalog. It does the hard work for you. You do not need to do anything more. So save your troubles. Okay, so what I'm thinking, maybe we could do something like that. I don't know. Just an idea. Yeah, and then it just offsets it a little bit. I could do the Valentine's down there. I'm thinking while I go, sometimes it's nice to do it as we go along. You always, you can give me some suggestions. And I don't know whether that's any good, but we'll see. Trying something. Don't overthink, just do it. Okay, just do it. It's just a bit of a fun card, so that's why I'm trying some different things. Oops. It's not even straight, but I don't think it matters too much. Okay. And then the heart can go on, maybe I'll do it like that so it doesn't look so lonely. Now I've got these little iridescent dots, which are also from the suite. So they'll pick up those pinks and purples and things like that. Let's go like that. It's a very simple card, simple layout and everything. So you can replicate it, you can change it up, make it a birthday card if you want. I'll probably just stamp the heart on the inside, and to marry up that envelope, we'll just use some of that designer series paper, and I will use the stripes on the back of this. Because I think that would be a nice contrast. So what I've done with my paper when I get it, I just cut one sheet of each into 6 by 12, sorry, and then the others I keep in full sheets. So I've got half a pack cut up and the other half in full. So if I wanted to create a box, a larger box, I've got full sheets as well. You could buy 2 packs and cut one up, or cut one into smaller pieces, into your mat, whatever you want, what works for you. I find this works for me. So that's our first card done. And a nice sweet Valentine's Day card. So not so, if you're not into the reds and things, you can just change that up. You can put the base as a pool party and mix that up a bit. The next card I'm doing is using the Flowing Flowers stamp set. And this stamp set is a distinctive stamp set. I will be doing another card in the classes, the Fresh Florals class, tongue twister, on Sunday at on the Geeks Online classroom. It's classroom 1, and even there I'm doing 3 different cards and with different stamp sets, and I'm doing one with this. So this is the stamp set, really pretty, works extra. One layer cards works really well for. You can see it has all that detail with just simple stamping. It's great. You can see I said love this. That's my first reaction to that. Works really good with the stamp artist too if you want to add stamp shading. So I'm using mint macaron and blushing bright. That's going to be a combination of colors, and I've also got some just jade, and we're going to do some other bits and pieces of shading and things like that. I've got a piece of designer series paper, which is the artistically composed paper, but I'm going to be using that side. Now again, we're going to start with embossing this designer cardstock, and I'll be embossing that with one of our mini embossing folders. So there's a pack. This is the Meadow Moments, and it comes in 2, and this fits in our mini stamping card and emboss machine. So anywhere where it says mini in the catalog, it'll have a little stamping card and emboss machine image with the word mini, and you know that those dies and embossing folders will fit in the mini machine. So again, this is a regular embossing folder. It's not 3D, so the sandwich will be such for that. bit of a mint macaron fan. I like that color, and with blushing bride, I like that color combination. Right. I'm not worrying too much about that because that's just gonna get covered, and we will just stick that on. Tone on tone is nice, and it works really well. You don't always need like different colors and things like that. It sometimes adding that tone on tone look, it adds extra depth to your project. Now we'll get our stamp set. So these are the stamps. It's like a cling stamp set. This is really beautiful. You can stamp it in one color or you can mix and match. I'm just going to be using both these, and I want the leaves from this and that flower, and I'm being a bit shifty. So I will. So we'll ink up, and you can mask it off. I'm not going to fuss with it. I'll just give it a bit of a clean because, oh sorry, I just knocked the camera. Straightening up. Alright, so go with, I'm using Just Jade. And I'm just going to go straight onto my ink pad to stamp, and roughly, because your flower which I'll cut out after, will hide those any blemishes, or this is basically a background we're creating. Just gonna see how dark that is. Fine, so we can stamp it straight on. This is a bit more of an not overly involved, but it's more than what we did for the other card. So I want this to sit like that. So I'm gonna stamp that over there. Right. Then we'll stamp the other one there. So you could mask this. I'm not fussing. It's basically just cutting, stamping again, and it'll mask it. My cut flower is gonna mask it anyway. I'm all for anything that's not gonna take my time because I can't be bothered with fussing around too much. If I can help it. Sometimes you have to. Well, masking can be tricky sometimes. Now let's add a little bit of this green, but this is granny apple green. Just gonna do a very faint there. So you can't even tell that that's a flower there. We're just gonna add some background. Maybe one there. Okay, so it's just creating a bit of a background for us. I didn't get some scrap, so let me get some scrap to stamp on. This is my scrap. It's a card base that obviously I must have folded wrong or something, but we can use it. I'm inking this up well. If you want to re-ink, you can with a stamp apparatus. You can keep going. I show you a nice technique with this stamp set, so join me on that class, the first florals one. It's a So we'll just fussy cut this quickly. Isn't it nice knowing it's Friday? It just makes you feel good. I only worked 2 days this week, but it just feels, after holidays, going back, it's like so long. Long as 2 days. I'm sorry if I'm not seeing any, if you're chatting, I haven't, none of the chat is coming up, so if you are and I'm missing it, I'm sorry, I will go back and check. Um, it's not, I'm ignoring you, I'm checking, but I can't see anything. Anything is possible with the internet at the moment. So, what's our plans for the weekend? Crafting, watching crafting, cleaning craft room, Rochelle. I think that's gonna be pretty, like the light colored flower, and then you've got the nice brighter leaves. Now, next thing we're doing is I'm gonna add a bit of color to this piece of basic white cardstock. Um, just some greens, so we get a mix of greens, because I'm going to do some die cutting with some leaves and um, some different leaves, and I meant to get the stamp set, so just bear with me. I'm going to use this one to do some leaf stamping. That forever fern, I just want to add some extra leaves, so let's do, I'm doing this to get a very variegated look on the, see, I'm not getting one um, color. Like if I use granny apple green, you're gonna get one true color. I will add some leaves in Just Jade, but I thought if I give a nice mix, you'll get a shading on your leaf, and you can have darker and lighter. This technique also works nicely on watercolored cardstock, your shimmery white or your fluid 100, and then add some spritz it, so then again you're gonna get varied color on it. And let's add a bit of Just Jade. So for instance, if I use this and go over that, you're gonna get a nice rich different colors. And that is a distinctive stamp set as well, so you're gonna get more variation. Blending brushes, they are really nice and soft, but they're firm and they blend really well. You get 3 in a pack. So and they're $21 for 3. So the 2 colors I've used here are Granny Apple Green and Just Jade. So I've tried to keep it the greens the same, although I've got a mint macaron base, but just trying to keep it vibrant on the top so it picks up that. We'll get a stamp, and I'm just going to stamp that leaf. I think that's the one I'm going to use. Yep. So let's stamp that in Granny Apple Green. Automatically getting some mix there. Don't think I'll need 4, but I'll just leave that for now. Oh, I'll just stamp one more, it wouldn't hurt. And it doesn't matter if it's a half, we can hide that. We'll do all our die cutting now. I've also got this from these dies, which are from the sunflower dies. So we had the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set and the accompanying dies, and I thought this would add some nice detail as well. I'm not going to risk having 2 different things going at the same time. I normally put a piece of washi, and I'm just going to run this as is. But with leaves you can kind of get away if they're not overly, if they're not aligned, and it's nature. So you see how you get that mixed color? You also could, when you blend color, it comes up good if you wanted to, instead of using white, another little tip I have that you can use is blend your green to get a darker shade of green and blend it on a lighter shade of green cardstock. So if you wanted to do Just Jade on Granny Apple Green cardstock, that gives you a nice variation too. And that gives you a nice ombre effect. That's a bit slightly wonky, but it's okay. And this is a half one. any case, I cut my leaves sometimes to fit in, so we can always use these halves. And you can even add it to the inside of your card or the envelope on a corner. Now we'll bring in our just shaped piece of cardstock, and I'll die cut these, a few of these. Just some accent pieces. It's actually like a bit like wheat, but they come up really nice. Like those filling flowers in bouquets. You can cut this whole section out if you don't want to add all these bits and pieces. Just leave it at the stamping and it'll be fine. I'm just stepping it up a bit. Bring that in. That goes like that, like that. And let's see what sentiment will go. You can have I like you, or it's a happy birthday. Or we could even pick something from here. Maybe the hello from here. That might just fit in that little corner. A little sentiment. I just want something in that corner. We'll use Tuxedo Black. So we'll glue a piece of basic white, it's just a square, onto the blushing bride piece. I give a gap of 0.6, so 0.3 around, 3 millimeters around. So you can make that square whatever size you like. Use your scraps and things like that as well for your like your designer series paper there. So have it flush on the, I'm having it flush there, right on the corner. So normally I use double-sided tape. This is another way you can add your ribbon. Just a glue dot. That works well too. I'm going to have this gingham ribbon. What do you think? Do you like the stripes and the dots together? Sometimes, like, I wasn't sure how it'll go, but when I placed it against it, it looked quite sweet. Sometimes you think, oh, there's a lot of pattern going on, but for some reason this gingham tends to go with everything. And little dots are nice too, the black dots. Yeah, I'll put dimensionals on this to give it some depth. And I will put a fair few because it is a larger piece of cardstock. Not for anything that will come out, just so that it doesn't bend in the middle if you post it or anything like that. Feeling my way around these. Which ones haven't I taken? Okay. Nearly did it again. Nearly had it upside down. Oh dear. Okay. We'll put that there. Put 4 and 1. Okay, now when we're putting the flower, I'm going to put it on dimensionals, but because we've got these leaves that I need to attach underneath, I find it easier if I have my flower in place and then I can tuck them in under. You can try to put it first and then put it on the card, but I find having the flower in place helps me put the leaves. So I just put 1 or 2 in the center there, then I can still put my leaves in there, and it just helps, right? So I'll try and show you what I mean. So I can still then tuck that in there without much trouble. And if I wanted to, I can lift it, but I can always cut it and do that. So I'm just going to cut that there. So I have 2 on one side and 1 cascading down that way. And we can have the Just Jade going there. And perhaps that one down, I'll put the double down there. I had a spare double. You can cut these apart too if you wanted to. And then because we want 5 there, like an odd number, I'll just put that there. So I've got an idea how I want this to sit, and so I'll start gluing in now. When I put my glue out, I first release it, especially for smaller pieces. I just put it out on a scrap piece, then I can pick up any piece, because when you really don't want the glue to come out in a hurry, you'll get this massive blob where you don't want it. So you're safer to put it on that scrap piece of paper, and then I put that there. I'll just cut the this dimension, I've got some half dimensionals. I can cut that in half. So your flower is going to be held well and truly. You've got the leaves and things. If you want it a little bit shorter, you can trim that down. It's just a matter of assembly, how you like it. Everyone is different, so just do what you think is nice and what's pleasing to your eye. Oops, those little dimensionals, they are everywhere. Now this one. Hi Elaine, hi Alana. Thanks for joining me. So nice to see you. Thanks Alana. Alana likes the card. That's okay, thanks. I appreciate you coming out here. And it's a bit of a late Facebook Live, but never mind. We're here on a Friday, so you can watch, relax. I know it's late night shopping and everything. I have to do your groceries. There's always something to do, isn't there? I'll hide that under there. Do some surgery on the leaves. So use what you've got. I mean, I've used different. I'm sure you'll have something in your stash you can use. That's going to give you that length and things like that. And then we'll add some little dots. I think black would be nice in that. I did not sort of, I had something in my head what I was going to do, but didn't quite know. So this is the classic matte dots from the Heart and Home suite in the mini catalog. They're a little, I know we have got the matte dots in our annual catalog as well. They're slightly, I mean, these are more flatter, and with these you also get those other colors, which is nice, a bit of different. Those other ones are a bit larger. So that just gives you another color option as well with this, mixing it with the greens and color combination. So that's our card. I would probably just stamp that on the inside on a piece of white cardstock. That's how I decorate it. Keep it simple. You could even add some of those green flowers. We could do that. I'll show you what I do. An envelope, just to keep it fresh and carry it through that color. And that's, I think, sufficient. You can put the black dot paper on the back if you like. just some ways to decorate that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Got some tips. Step it up, step it down. Do what works for you. You can take that embossing out, take a layer out. Keep it simple, just with the stamped piece of square cardstock. If you're in a hurry, so there's ways to change this up to suit like your crafting level or time you have on hand. And this was the first card we did, and just two very different cards, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to catch you tomorrow. Hi, and lovely to see you. Thanks for joining me from Western Australia as well. So nice. I've seen your name pop up, and it's really nice to catch up with you on here. Hope to catch you tomorrow on at Craft Alive on the Great International Craft Show on the I was gonna say it's on the craft classroom. I can't get my words out. Yeah, on the classroom. It's classroom 1. I will put up the link so you can join in and say hi to me, chat with me over there as well. So thanks so much. Have a good night and a great weekend. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.